am back. So yeah, I thought I'd pop on today and talk a little bit about social media. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know. So I guess kind of the question, Anne, is what do you do now moving forward? I'd also love to know, like, what are your concerns about social media? What are you seeing that you like and that you don't like? I don't know how you guys feel about AI. A lot of AI is taking over our feeds. A lot of people are concerned about authenticity. You know, do you want to see videos that are AI made of people? You know, and I'm gonna say no. I think we want the authenticity. I mean, you can't buy authenticity. Your ability to connect with an audience is probably your most powerful tool. So we are seeing a lot of shifts in social media. Live selling is becoming really popular. I mean, think of TikTok Shop, the idea of being online and showing your product, talking about your services. I mean, it kind of reminds me of like HSN and QVC or the shopping channel, depending on where you live in the world. That's something we've had on television for years. And now the focus is basically online shopping, live shopping. And yet, I wonder how that kind of can be the trend when attention spans are really limited right now. It's hard to keep people's attention. And so, live selling kind of baffles me, but at the same time, I kind of understand it because, I mean, if you've ever got sucked into QVC or HSN, right? So, social media definitely is shifting. I know that Gary Vee has talked about social media dying. And I sort of disagree with that. I think it's morphing. I don't think it's dying. I think it's just sort of morphing into something else. It's shifting. I think social media has been doing that for a while. We've gone through different phases of what's popular, what isn't. And so I would just say that it's not so much that it's dead, it's just that it's morphing into something else, right? We're not calling it social media anymore. You're going to hear the term more and more now, interest media. And so interest media is basically what are people interested in? How do you bring people to your channel? How do you keep them interested? Hi George, how are you? So this is the thing about social media. And so my job is to help you look at the root of your content, and to help shift whether it's a structural gap, like I said, or a personal gap. Good, I'm glad to hear that. But I will say this, there's nothing more rewarding than building a nice community on social media. I've been really lucky to do that with my other channel, but it takes time. It is extreme. Yeah, Joe Cole, totally get it. Social media is each person's personal stages. It is. Hi, Kara, how are you? What's interesting, something that I've learned in my journey is what was really beneficial to me was sharing my story. That's how I grew my other channel to now at this point. I mean, I always say over 175,000. It's probably closer to 200,000 now across 4 platforms. It was me being vulnerable and talking like a real person. Like, notice when you come into my live, I'm going to say hello. I'm going to ask you how you're doing. I'm going to respond. That's really important to me. Building community isn't a one-sided thing. This is something you do together. I need all of you to be with me on this journey, right? And if I can bring something to you, then that's even better, right? That's the whole purpose of social media growth. So personal stages. Yeah, I mean, where I was 5.5 years ago, I was still working my full-time teaching job. I was segueing myself out of the classroom. I was having success on social media, but not enough that I could actually quit my job. And where I live in Canada, Canada does not have a monetization program for TikTok. So in other words, the only way in Canada that you can be monetized is through YouTube. Hi Chantel, how are you? Nice to see you. The only way you can be monetized in Canada is through YouTube, which my other channel on my other brand is monetized, and Facebook. Happy Tuesday. Thank you. God bless you too. Hi, Renata. How are you? So, this is the thing, right? You've got to be vulnerable. You've got to talk about your life. You've got to get to know people. They've got to get to know you. This is something where if you're not showing your face on your videos or connecting with your audience, it's going to take you a very long time. Thank you, Renata. It's going to take you a very long time to grow. So my advice always is tell your story, show your face, don't be scared. I know it can be really daunting sometimes for people to put themselves out on social media, but I mean, how are you ever going to grow if you don't put yourself out there? You always have to spark new energy is what I tell people. It has been a while. What's new in your world? So that's why, sometimes we sit in discomfort. I'm not going to lie. When I came on live today, I understand my channel's new. My other channel's not new. If I go live, my other channel fills up, the room fills up right away. But that's because we've built that relationship together. So when I came on today and I'm sitting here, this is my second live, by the way, for Watch Me Build Social. I went live the other day for the first time. And, I'll admit, sitting here in the first few moments with like silence, hi, Rita, how are you? I'm sitting here like in silence, waiting for people to come in, waiting for people to talk to me, you know, hi, Delir, how are you? So it's not comfortable. It's not easy to do. I mean, like you're putting yourself out there, hoping that people are going to talk to you, hoping that people are going to engage with you. And so, it's not easy. You have to have a thick skin. You got to be willing to put yourself in that position, and it is worth it, but it takes time. That's okay. No worries, Ann. I appreciate it. So the fact that some of you are here with me now, it means a lot because, like I said, I want to build my community. I want to help people. I want to talk about my growth on social media, my personal story, how I got to this point, why I started my channel. I started my channel really because I wanted to help people grow their social media account with everything that I've learned, all the ups, all the downs. I want to do this in real time. You're seeing the good and not so good. I've got lots of experience to tell you where something went really well and something didn't go very well. And I'm constantly thinking of new content, testing new content. Next week, I'm going to be filming some brand new content that I haven't done before. And so I'm really excited about that. And actually, I'm looking for people who want me to audit their social media. So if any of you are interested in me auditing your social media, please let me know. I have a root audit workbook. It's a free PDF. It's a downloadable, no email required. And I basically will audit your social media and give you my advice based on what I think is the root of what could be holding you back. A lot is changing, Giselle, and at a rapid pace. Social media really must remain free. It's hard, isn't it? There's a lot of AI. And Giselle, this is something that I don't know if we're going to be able to necessarily stop, but we definitely have to look at the responsibility of AI and where we can use it for good or where we need to be careful. Because I do think that there can be some good use. I mean, I use it for SEO optimization, which is search engine optimization. I use it for titles and descriptions and hashtags and tags for my videos. But I personally would not use it as like a replacement for me in the sense of, an AI version of myself. And I know that is happening where now you're seeing AI versions of people and sometimes people who aren't even real at all. Hi, Ann, on this side. I appreciate it. Like I'll give you an example. The first videos that I released for Watch Me Build Social, I had people say to me, "Oh, that's AI. Oh, you're AI." And it's like, no, none of those videos of me are AI. It's that my videographer filmed them so well and so clear that they look like AI. But they're not AI. Hi, Junior. How are you? Nice to see you. I know I keep calling you Junior. It's because when I see your name, when I see JR, I think I think Junior right away. I'm sorry. I know I should call you by your name. You're not good. How come? So the company you work for implemented using AI people in apparel. It's real people using Canva Pro. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I mean, I think AI, like I said, is great for amplifying your own ideas. Like if you have an idea for something and you need to talk about it, then great, talk it through with your AI. But at the same time, I don't really like it as a form of replacement. I think it should amplify us. Your daughter's best friend passed away. I am so sorry for your loss. My condolences to you. I know that's not easy. Giselle, what are your thoughts? Like, are you building social media? Are you thinking about your social media? Is it a topic that you watch a lot of content about? Oh, and your aunt passed away last week. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That's a lot of loss. My heart goes out to you. So yeah, I mean, I'm still doing my other account. I love what I do. I love coaching people and helping people. But I'm very passionate about social media as well, and looking at the way in which we present ourselves and what's the root behind it. So it's a little bit of a different style of social media content. I'm not looking to give you like tips and tricks, the 5 top things to do to grow or to get followers or whatever. It's more like I'm looking at the root of who you are, right? So, oh, my condolences. I'm very sorry about Bonnie. It is cost effective to use AI for many companies. It can be, absolutely. You love photography, but you haven't updated it. People stealing your photos. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I've heard that a lot about photography on social media, that a lot of photos are stolen. I mean, that's the same thing with AI kind of replacing graphic design, but I will say this, I'll give you an example. I do think though that a good graphic designer goes a long way. And the reason I say that is because yes, AI can make thumbnails for you, but I really don't think they can make thumbnails for you in a way that a real graphic designer can do, especially a good graphic designer. Because I mean, I've used AI to make thumbnails. It depends on the thumbnail, but recently with my Watch Me Build Social thumbnails, I've had a really great graphic designer working, and I prefer it more than any AI I've used in the past. You would like to help people expand their socials and learn more internet media. So, and I think that's a great idea. So what does that mean when you say you want them to expand their socials? What does that mean? Grow their socials? Ah, you're Persian, Dalir. I have many Persian friends. And I love Persian food. Yeah, AI seems so detrimental to the environment, and it costs, yeah, it does. It does cost us. It sure does in many ways. And this is the thing. I mean, a lot of people are talking about data centers, and what that will do to our environment. I'm well, thank you. How are you, Fab? You're welcome. Yeah, I mean, so, okay, Giselle said, here in Belgium, warnings are being issued because people are using AI as a psychologist, which I personally find dangerous, or as a personal counselor for problems. Well, this is interesting that you say that because you know that I do coaching, obviously, for a living. I'm a high school teacher by trade. I definitely understand counseling. And I do think it has brought a lot of positive things to people, but you're right, there is a dangerous line. There's definitely a line. And that's the same thing with coaching, right? AI is never going to replace a good coach. One thing that I'm known for is my feedback and my honesty. And the one thing about AI is if you've ever encountered this, and I'm sure you have, if you've ever questioned your AI and said, are you sure? Is this your highest level of agency? Because I use that often. Is this your highest level of agency? You're telling me this is your top-notch advice. guess what will happen? Most of the time, your AI is going to come back to you and say, oh, no, or honestly, it's not yet there, or almost. And I'll be like, well, why didn't you just tell me that in the first place, right? So that's the thing about AI, is that yes, it can do a lot of great things, but that doesn't mean it's giving you the best advice. So Anne just said you want to help them grow. We've got lots of ideas. There's so many things you need to learn still that you can't in class. But I think, Anne, more than any classes, personally, this is just my advice to you. My advice to you is that classes are yes, a nice tool, but what you need is experience. It means you've got to build your own social media. Yeah, highest level of agency is what I always say to my AI. I want the highest level of agency. You know? But I think the only way for people to truly get their experience is to just do it. And let's be real, social media is hard. Social media is hard. Life is hard. It's how you push through and how you learn from the experiences. So like I said, I've been doing this 5.5 years. I've had moments where I was like, I'm tired or I'm frustrated, but I've always pushed through because I genuinely love what I do. I love helping people. I love coaching people. But this is the thing, is that you can take in all the information. You can take all the courses, right? But it's not necessarily the courses that are going to help you the most. It's the experience you get building your social media, right? So I guess that's basically the thing, you know? Are you willing to put yourself out there? Are you willing to build and go through the discomfort? Like I said, when I started my live today, I basically said, okay, I don't have anybody in here right now. And that's fine. It is what it is. I'm going to have to just grow that. I'm going to have to sit in that discomfort. And over time, we're going to build more and more and more. But it's not going to happen overnight. Right? So this is what comes with the territory. And if any of you have ever been in this position where you've tried to put yourself out there, it's not easy. So I just try to share my experiences and take it one day at a time. So yeah, I get what you're saying, Anne. Yeah, one who is a case manager going to counseling helps you form questions. It can be helpful. Mm-hmm. So if there are any other questions, I'm happy to answer them, but I do have to get going. Oh, thanks, Chantel. Chantel, what are your social media goals? Thank you. No, this has been a really nice experience, so thank you. And like I said, I'm on 3 platforms at once, just in case you guys are wondering. I'm on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram on my live. Are you looking to grow your page? Are you doing it just as a hobby? Is it something you would like to continue with? Do you enjoy doing it? I think those are all really important questions, you know, when thinking about one's social media. Oh, thank you, Giselle. That really means a lot to me. Giselle just said, I find this really useful, Kelly. It's a relief to be able to ask questions and talk about it this way. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Chantel just said, need to work on better ways of doing reels. You know, it's interesting. And that's the thing that's tough for people. When doing reels, what is the focus of your reel? Are you in the reel? Are you filming something else? Is it AI generated? You know, that's the question. That's the question. Because ultimately, you are your brand. If you're trying to get yourself out there more to grow your channel, you've got to be the face of the channel. I mean, I'm the face of my brand, both my brands, right? My Kelly Lorraine 111, my other channel, and then Watch Me Build Social. So everything is centered around me. It's around my face being on camera. Hi, Jose. How are you? I love when you come in and say, hi, Batty. How are you doing? Jose, how's your social media going? Because I see your posts. You always have nice effects in your videos. I'm well. I'm well. I've been really busy. You need to work on it a little bit more. What do you need to do? I'm really curious. So something that I'm going to be doing, something that I'm going to be doing in my next batch of content actually is like root audits. So I have, at least 2 interviews that I'm going to be doing strategy sessions with live on video. So those will be put up to my YouTube channel very soon, where I'm going to be working with people through a strategy session and talking about the root of their social media and how to shift it, how to grow it. But I'm also going to be doing little mini root audits where I'm going to take client experiences or people who've done my root audit workbook, which is free. It's a PDF download. You don't have to put in your email or anything. And basically, I do an audit of people's social media. And so hopefully there's information in there that can help people, with some of the things that they're experiencing personally. You're looking to start promotional posts for upcoming sales, build a following, and just getting the business name out there on different platforms. Yeah, I mean, Jose, you know this, it takes time. And also, different style of content. Are you going to put yourself in the videos? Because I think the important thing always is to put ourselves in the content. Like, I would love to see more content with you in it. Oh, thanks, Giselle. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Like, do you find, Jose, that your account is growing? Is it growing enough? Or do you feel like there's still more that you need to do? I know. And that's really part of an issue as to why people are stunted in their growth. So you answered my question right there. Like, you rarely put yourself in any of your content. And I know so many people who feel that way. I have a friend who's a lovely artist, brilliant, like amazing art, but doesn't put themselves in their content. And something that I always say is, how do people buy from you if they don't know who you are? They don't know the person behind it. They don't connect with you. Well, if you need help with that, Jose, I'm happy to help you. I do have a root audit, no pun intended with the plants, but I have a root audit workbook that is a free PDF download in my bio. And it does talk about, you're welcome. It does talk about, how to spot the issue, meaning going back to your content, looking at yourself, listening to yourself and saying, what are you experiencing? Do you appear nervous? Are you even in the videos? When you talk, do you speak confidently? What's like the body language like? You have to be able to spot what's working or not working in your content, okay? From like a visual or even an auditory way. And then what I look at in the second phase is the source. Like, what is the source of your issue? Meaning, is there a limiting belief? Thanks, Anne. Have a wonderful day. Is there a limiting belief? Where did it come from? We have to look at what could be getting in the way from a personal standpoint in your social media. Okay. And then I look at split. Split is the part of the cycle where we look at, is there a structural issue or is there a personal issue? You know? And so that's an interesting one as well, because the amplification gap exists structurally in many aspects of our society. Okay, structural, I can't necessarily control, but the personal gap, I can, because I can work on limiting beliefs. I can get better. I can use different strategies for myself. I can't change the system. I can't change anything from the top down, right? I can't change the political system. I can't change the medical system. I can't change the school system. What I can change is me, you know? Oh, thanks, Jose. I would appreciate it. So, no, I don't have a PhD. No, I don't have a PhD. But Jason, I am a high school teacher of 22 years. I have certification in teaching, obviously. I understand manifestation. I counsel people all the time on their growth. I'm an entrepreneur. I've grown my other channel to over 175,000 followers over 4 platforms. My TikTok alone currently sits right now at about 118,000 followers on my other channel. And so I definitely have experience in social media growth, in manifestation, and personal development. So I definitely work with people in all aspects, people who work in corporate jobs, military, government, you name it. I've worked with people and done so successfully. So, and then the last step in my root audit workbook is the shift, where this is now where we talk about things that are actionable, ways that we can actually shift through the difficulty. Because we got to do something. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? If we don't make any moves, we don't shift, then we're just going to stay stuck. So it is an audit that anyone can do on their social media. You can make comments on it. You can continuously audit yourself to see if you're making improvements. That's a great question. Is your name Joe? Should I call you Joe? I love to know people's names, by the way. But that was a great question. Do I recommend boosting on social media? So when you say boosting, I'm assuming what you mean is like buying promotional, boosts. As in, like on TikTok, you can get a coupon. They're always offering you coupons to boost your content. I mean, I think one of the difficulties is it makes me wonder if the people that you're sort of promoting to are real. And I know that sounds like I'm being suspicious, but I don't know necessarily if I would do it long term. Yeah, you can boost a post here and there. I don't see anything wrong with that. I've done it before. But did it really benefit me in the long run? I can't say necessarily. And I do think, Joe, it depends on your type of content. Okay. So here's the thing. I talk about it in one of my videos on YouTube. So there's 3 types. It's actually in my data video. So I'm going to be posting that hopefully this week on Thursday. But I speak to a former head of growth who's worked in the corporate world about branding, okay, and data. And one of the questions I've always had is, what happens if you're like a service type of content creator versus, let's say, somebody selling a product or somebody who's just making content and getting paid by the platform? So coming back to your question, Joe, there's 3 types of content creators, essentially. You have people who are in the monetization program, who basically are paid by the platform and they dance, they lip sync, or they do whatever, right? They could be educational videos. They're paid by the platform. So do they really need promotional? Not necessarily, okay? Then you've got somebody like me who's a service provider. And this is my point. I am the brand. I am the advertising. So in order to effectively market myself, it just means my content has to be related to me. It's got to be me showing what I do. It's like me giving examples of of the services I provide or real world experiences, right? So then I've always had the question, do I really need ads? Do I really need promo? So I asked this former head of growth that I've interviewed, and I said, if I had a product, I could totally understand buying ads, right? If I had a store, if I had something that I was physically selling, I can totally understand buying ads. But in my case, what I've noticed over the years is that I don't think I've totally needed ads because I am the ad. And I do question, whether or not if I purchase those promo coupons, right, on TikTok, or I do a boost on Instagram or whatever, who is it really going out to? And are they real followers? Because we do know that there are a lot of bots online. And so I'm not in favor of buying followers. It makes no sense. I've never even considered it. And the reason why I've never considered it is because there's nothing worse than when you go to a social media platform, okay, or somebody's page, and you see all these followers, but yet no likes. You see like 1 like, 3 likes. That tells you that's a clear giveaway that something just doesn't add up here, right? You want to see some sort of like balance to followers and likes and comments. So yeah, you can see somebody with a ton of followers, but that doesn't mean they have engagement, and that doesn't mean that they're really amplified or promoted, right? So I'm not a believer in buying followers. Now, as for buying promotional ads or boosts, again, it really depends. But I would say that if you are a service provider like myself, doing coaching or teaching, whatever, to me, I feel like you are the advertisement. Doesn't mean you can't buy yourself some boosts every now and again, but I feel like your best investment is just better quality videos, right? So hopefully that answers your question. But again, if you have products, that's a little bit different because products are very eye-catching. Yeah, those advertisements are all for views. It's not really a huge promotion, to be honest. No, it's not. And they're expensive, Jose. They're expensive. It's not like buying advertising on social media is very expensive, and each platform has their pluses and minuses in that department. Some are more expensive than others. And I know that there's a bit of a controversial one here, and I've talked about it many times, and that is Facebook. I know there's a lot of people who are sort of anti-Meta, I get it. But the one thing that I will tell you is that Facebook right now is probably one of the most lucrative places to be as a content creator. There's a lot of people who tell me, and they laugh, and they'll say, well, Facebook is dead. Facebook is not dead. Yes, they had a privacy scandal years ago. Yes, the younger generation, as in like Gen Z, are not on Facebook. That is true. Although they say they're on there for Marketplace, okay? Which is interesting because Marketplace is basically interest media before we had interest media. If you don't know the term interest media, Gary Vee has coined this term as being what people are interested in. It's not social media anymore, it's interest media. So that's a whole other topic. But listen, people are on Facebook, you just don't realize it, or they're not admitting to being on there. No, it is, Jose. 100% it is. I'll give you an example why it is, okay? You have been a follower of mine, online family member of Kelly Lorraine 111 for a long time. So my other channel has 118,000 followers on TikTok, 30,000 on YouTube, and now 30,000 on Instagram. Actually, as of today, I hit 30,000. Now, I never had a Facebook for Kelly Lorraine 111. Back in October of last year, I was taking a social media course, and that social media course required me to have a Meta business account. But in order to have a Meta business account, I had to start a Facebook page. And so I said, you know what? I'm already posting all my content to TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I might as well have it go to Facebook as well. Shockingly, within, I don't even know, maybe 3 months or so, I was approached by Facebook for the content monetization program. And what you have to make sure you do in order to be approached is you have to go into your professional dashboard and say that you are interested in it. They may not bring you in automatically. It may take some time, but you show interest in your wanting to be in the content monetization program. So I did, And like I said, all of a sudden I got a notification that said I'm part of the content monetization program of Facebook. And I think within my first 3 months of being on that program, I made about $1,200. So Facebook is actually paying you more right now than probably any other platform. And you have to think about this, who has the purchasing power? The people who have the purchasing power are not Gen Z. That's just a fact. Gen Z struggles more financially than other generations. So if you were to look at who's on Facebook, you know, it's not just, and by the way, it's not just what we would call, old people. And I don't even like that term because it's not about age in that aspect, but a lot of people like coin it as being like an old person's platform. I hate to tell you, there's a lot of people on Facebook that are 35 years old. You just don't know it. So Jose, your Facebook and IG are linked. This is my advice to you. You have to be really mindful of this, all of you, whoever is listening right now. That is, your Facebook page is not a personal page. Yeah, you keep thinking keeping my private account doesn't help my case. Yeah, or your account private. So here's my point, Jose. It's got to be a public page, not a personal Facebook page. Like, you start an account that says Callie Lorraine and this is me, on my weekend, with my family. That's not the Facebook page we're talking about. We're talking about creating a public page, like a public business page. Okay, so that's how I started it. I went and I made a Callie Lorraine 111 Facebook page, and I saw it start to grow. I think my Facebook is now at 15,000 followers, and I started that back in October. And actually, for Watch Me Build Social, which is my current new channel, right, that we're talking about right now, because in Watch Me Build Social, I'm talking to you about all the things that I've learned in the last 5.5 years building my other channel. And I joined Facebook because I said, you know what, I'm not going to make the mistake this time. I'm going to make sure I have a page for Watch Me Build Social on Facebook. Within, I don't even know, within a couple months, I was already accepted into that Facebook monetization program. Now, do I have a lot of followers on Facebook right now? No, I don't. I think I've got about 170. I don't even know. Somewhere around that range. Don't quote me, but similar to that. And it just takes time. You just got to keep posting and keep doing your thing. So I would always say, don't avoid a platform because you think other people don't like it. Like, I hear this all the time about Facebook, where people are like, I hate Facebook, I don't want to be on Facebook. But here's the thing, like, don't listen to other people, trust your own intuition. Like, if you want to put your business page on Facebook, go put your business page on Facebook. You'll be pleasantly surprised. And Jose, I actually think you'd be really surprised at how well your content would do. Because I would ask you, do you know the demographics of the people who buy your product? Right? So I would suggest to you definitely having a Facebook page if you're looking to monetize, because the criteria to monetize on Facebook is very different than the criteria to monetize on YouTube. YouTube, you require, a certain number of subscribers, a certain number of watch hours, and that can take you a very long time, right? There's this criteria you have to meet. Whereas on Facebook, you don't have the same level of criteria. And they're trying to bring people into that app as much as possible. Now, despite how you might feel about the company or what's going on in the news, that's totally up to you. I mean, to each their own on that. Everybody has opinions on it. Understand that as far as the business side of things, that is the place that is probably your most lucrative space right now, is Facebook. And so if you're not sure, go check it out. Go do some research. I'll never forget how I came across it. I came across a TikTok video of somebody talking about their success on Facebook. Yeah, exactly, Jose. And I would do that. It's meant to be a separate, it's not meant to be like, you know, Jose, like your first and last name, as in like, this is my personal Facebook page. This is me going out to dinner, or having ribs tonight or a steak tonight. This is like a separate public Facebook page of what you're selling. And when you do that and you consistently post, so Instagram and Facebook are linked, right? So in other words, when you post to one, it'll go to the other. Now, technically, it's better to post separately, okay? But in the very beginning, if you're looking to just sort of like make it easy for yourself and kind of pump that content out, then yeah, you can have it linked so that Instagram just automatically posts to your Facebook and you don't even have to think about it. And I'll admit, you know, you can get away with not paying too much attention to it, but obviously the more attention you put onto your page, like as an engagement and content itself, the better. All right, my friends, I gotta run. I have a client session actually in about 8 minutes, but it's been really nice being on here. And thank you to everyone who's asked questions or shared. Yeah. And if you, like I said, Jose, if you need help, I'll help you with it. Happy to do that. And you can download my root audit and you can have a look and see if it fits your content. I think the one thing that it won't fit, and this is, again, this will highlight to you the importance. Are you on your content in your videos? Thank you, Giselle. I'm so glad that you love this. It means a lot to me and I really appreciate your support. So thank you very much. So, you know, we really, you're welcome. It's important for us to be in the videos, right? People need to see you. They need to understand why they should buy from you. All right, my friends, I gotta run. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means a lot to me. So have a wonderful day and I'll be live again soon. Take care. Okay, bye, Instagram. I would love to catch up. Yes, let's do that, Jose. We got lots to talk about for sure. Okay. Thank you, my friend. I got to run. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay, bye.